നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ നിൽക്കുന്നത് നിർഡിഗണ്ട എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സാറിൻ്റെ ഒരു മനോഹരമായിട്ടുള്ള കൺസെപ്റ്റ് സ്പേസിലാണ്. അപ്പം മലയാളികൾക്ക് പൊതുവെ ഒരുപാട് പേർക്കൊന്നും ഇത് അറിയണ്ടാവില്ല. വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദിസ്, എന്താണ് ഈ സ്ഥലം, എന്താണ് സാറിൻ്റെ കൺസെപ്റ്റ്? അത്
I come from theatre. Rangabhumi theatre ആണ് അതിനൊരു beginning of my career. അപ്പോൾ അത് കളിച്ച് ഒരു 10-15 years of theatre പിന്നെ ഞാൻ സിനിമ പോയി 3.5 decades. For a few years I wanted to come back to theatre. അപ്പോൾ തിയേറ്റർക്ക് റിട്ടേൺ വരുമ്പോൾ what should I come as? Should I come back as an actor? അപ്പോൾ I said, what is the use of it? And there were 3-4 plays. Prakash is a good actor. He is doing some senior roles. Adillallo, my relevance to theatre. Then should I start a theatre group? Then again, Prakash has got money, he has got sponsors, plays. Then he used to say that, what is the difference I will make in theatre? Is, when I was young, I had exposures. I had experiences which made me what I am today. Shouldn't I give that to the next generation? So instead of building a theatre group or this, I thought I'll build a space which is an incubator, wherein people will come and they're ready to lose. Without the fear of failing. Then somebody says, Prakash, we're going to start a Prakash Raj Academy. I said, how many more youngsters will I bring in? Then we said, what happened to those youngsters who did diplomas in National School of Drama, in Neenasam, in different schools of theatre? What are they doing now? Who had a hope that theatre will be their life. There's so many of them. So we started bringing them. And we give a fellowship. Nirdiganta is a place where new plays are written, new forms are found, they experiment, and what is the outcome? So Nirdiganta's work is big. What can we do in children's theatre? What can we do for new plays to come? How can we become a space where there is voice for the next generation?
What does it mean actually, Nirdiganta?
Nirdiganta means, it's a great poet, Puvempu. Diganta means horizon. Nirdiganta is horizonless. See, you have to become a universal citizen. A child is born as a universal child. So it is a space which has no boundaries of thought, of process, and to go to a larger humanitarian. So he says, Nirdiganta Vagi Eri, that is how your life should go. So I like that word in that poem. Then we as a team made it Nirdiganta.
So I think I was told that everything in this place is touched by you.
Well, see, architecture is not that. Now, Nirdiganta and the space, it should be among nature, there should be silence, and other slow it is forming. So we need a rehearsal space, then we need around 30 people to stay. So here we do farming, we talk to the next village, we spend time with the evening children. There are a lot of people who come here and talk, so we need that space. So I started designing the space and it demanded me.
And what all are the specific activities you do here? Like 1, 2, 3, if you say?
If I say, Nirdiganta now is empowering different theatre groups. For example, we had one theatre festival in Mangalore and one in Chikmagalur. So we find directors and different troupes in Karnataka where they can't do the production. So we fund the production for a new play. They come in the festival and then the play is theirs. It is thus supporting. And there are certain plays which starts touring. Like we did one play called Wounds, which 20 actors worked and they start touring and it goes into different districts and goes into different colleges and is having a conversation, having a dialogue. One of the more important thing is how can theatre be a tool in education?
Of course.
So for that, this has been last 1.5 years. So we had 5 directors who came and created a 5.5 hours of puppetry, music, theatre games. Then we selected around 107 residential schools where the marginalized children are there. So a bus and a team with a property van went to every 107 schools in 1 year. Gave them the songs, gave them the karaoke versions, taught them this thing and started document what is the impact of theatre on them.
But how do you incorporate into the curriculum as such?
See, that is the search we are doing. So either out a documentation ipo namakitte undu. At the parallelly, we selected 5 directors, sent to 5 district schools where they stayed for 6 months. And the second documentation, where they had a Dasara camp. Then they directed a play for children and all the children, like 150 children from 5 schools, we traveled them to Mysore, had a children's theatre festival. Then we went and documented what is happening with the children. Some children are saying, I'm more confident now. Some children, language has improved. Some people, I would never used to talk, now I have the expression to talk. But I'm better in mathematics now, I'm better in logic now.
You went by yourself to any of these places?
Yes, I visit.
Okay.
I have visited, we have documented that. I go and talk to them, play them. This December 26, 27, 28, we called around 17 speakers across the country. Child psychologists, child philosophers, child literature writers, and people like M.S. Satyu's daughter or Atul Kulkarni's daughter Geetanjali Kulkarni, who are doing for decades on children's theatre. I asked them, give them different subjects on how to deal as education and theatre. They submitted papers. We invited around 20 writers and theatre practitioners as delegates. Now that curating is happening. So idallam kalinji, probably March we will know that where we are in forming. Then the next 6 months, Nirdiganta is doing a research on Panchatantra. A very important director, Mohanlal from Kerala is also into it. So we want to bring around 8-10 directors, make that into like Lion King and things like that, our own stories, our own wisdoms, and then make it into smaller script where it can go into schools. And let us see what happens. Now from 5 school districts, we have gone to 10 districts next year. So this is one facet which is happening. Then in Uttara Karnataka, theatre has become weak. So we selected actors from there, trained them for 1.5 months, made that own play, and that is traveling, and we are bringing all those talents. So that we get stories from Mangalore, from border of Dharwad, from Bangalore. We don't want theatre to be centralized to the city. There's a lot of works and there's some research work which is happening. We have commissioned research work.
When I compare the theatre that is in Kerala and that is here, like in Kerala we have 2 kinds of theatre brands. Like one the Ibsenites who follow the older philosophies, and the second one is the new generation who follow the Western, most modern, technology-based, lighting-based things. So in Karnataka, what is the situation like?
See, everywhere this is there. But for us, Nirdiganta is what is the purpose of theatre? What is the purpose of art? Art for art's sake is not our philosophy. Art should document what is happening. Today, I see there are people from Germany who came down. They came and did a play here. They took workshops. There's one person, Ada from Russia, she came to know about it. Sophia from Germany, she came, one from Niger. They came and took classes to these youngsters on documentary theatre, what is happening in the world. But finally, how is theatre used? How rich it is, what is the soul of theatre? Adana namakku. Appo, you will have to be exposed to what is happening in theatre in the world also. Technique, everything is just a tool. So what is the thought process? we are building.
How are you applying it into the studies and curriculum?
Curriculum, into the society.
What does it do?
There should be a play on Palestine. There should be a play on Constitution. There should be a play, what do the youngsters feel? What are on authoritarianism? There is that, art is politics, no?
Why do you start from the children? Like,
We did not start with the children. Children, see, one we should understand in this education system, I find parents are very arrogant, elders. They say, we are preparing the children for the future. Who are you to prepare? They are also living a life today.
yeah,
Why don't you understand children are also part of the society, part of a family? You need some space for them to explore and say something. There is a language.
yeah.
So that we are missing. So we are not reimagining the future. And we are only putting art, whether your education system or but why are you not let them flower? Why don't you listen to them?
Yeah.
Children is very important. It is the most neglected part of the family we have done today. Recently, there was one paper she was submitting, and there was one child who was 3.5-year-old child, a 4-year-old child. The child psychologist was talking, and she said, the child was very silent. Parents came and said, very good, rich parents, but they said, child is very silent. Then I started talking with the child. The child one day told me, I just wish my breath stops.
Why so sad?
So see, when a child says, I want the breath to stop, or I want to commit suicide, or I want to do 3 different things. Then we went in, she says, I do school, when come back there is homework. There's 10 classes I have to do, I can't take the pressure. So why are we not understanding? The mother's love is to prepare, but what is it leading to?
Yes.
Why don't we bring in psychologists and child philosophers to understand the children what they want?
Yeah.
And I was in Cochin many years back, and I was talking about reimagining the future, and one person said, sir, you are saying cinema, my son wants to do screenplay writing, he's still 14, I'm telling him to finish the degree. I said, what do you know about screenplay writing? He said, I don't know anything. Then you ask somebody like us, no?
Yeah.
How arrogant of you to say child doesn't know anything just because you don't know anything. So why are we not hearing?
Yeah.
So there are so many levels, it's not just education system, there's so many levels we need to work with the children.
Do you think the education system right now lacks something like,
It lacks a lot of things.
because the attention span of the children
It is not only the attention plan, no, it is preparing children to win.
competitive.
Where is the space where they can lose?
Yeah.
Where is the space where they can say, I don't know, can I learn? No. This exam, that exam, you have to do things, comparative. No, this is not education, that is not educating.
Yeah.
Isn't it? We are not preparing left shoe, right shoe in factories.
Yes.
They are human beings, they are lives, there is a life,
Yeah.
there is an evolution which is happening.
So you think your the project with the drama and the stage?
No, how can theatre, see, as a responsible citizen, a responsible artist, how can art help? UNESCO's, what is there in education on there? So, do we bringing equality? Are we bringing group mentality? Are we bringing comradeship, coming together? Are we making them question? They have questions, no?
Yeah.
Are we investing on that?
So Balachandra, you consider as one of your mentors, right?
He is the mentor. I mean, he is the one who gave us the confidence, and he did not talk about my religion, my language.
Yeah.
He just saw. The first person for me is Balachandra. One day, one of my actors, Geeta, she said, what are you doing? I was doing an art film with her in Karnataka. I said, you should meet Balachandra. I went and saw Balachandra, and he was talking about theatre and things like that. He was doing a film he was doing. And suddenly he said, where were you? What are you doing? I like the way he said, I don't know, sir. No, give me your photo. You stay here for 2 days. And I stayed, and then he said, no, I have casted somebody, I've given word to somebody else, I'll call you. Then I went. 1 year later, I get a call. I was somewhere in a printing press, and we used to give PP numbers. Balachandra, there's a film, come. Then I came. So that means he had seen me. The joy is how he sees actors. And many years later, I said, I was acting in a television serial of his, and he was very disturbed. I said, what happened? He said, I did not teach you acting. Why do you call me a mentor? But you gave me a confidence. Yeah. And see, he is like that. He says, Prakash, you or Kamal Hassan or Rajnikant, I took them for my stories. What you became is yours. So we had a guru like that. You know, Balachandra is such an inspiring.
So, our cinema പറ്റി പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഡ്യുവറ്റ് സിനിമ സാറിൻ്റെ എൻട്രി സീൻ എനിക്ക് ഇപ്പോൾ ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു വടി, അതല്ല എൻട്രി സീൻ, വടി ആയിട്ട് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് വാസ് എ ക്യാരക്ടർ വിച്ച് വാസ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഇമിറ്റേറ്റഡ് ഇൻ മലയാളം സിനിമ ആഫ്റ്റർ ലോങ് ആഫ്റ്റർ ഉദയനാണ് താരൻ ദർശ സിനിമ.
Yes, I did the remake of it.
Srinivasan character was almost copy of this thing.
It's not a copy, it's an inspiration.
Not a copy, inspiration. So
Balachandra has that knack, no, seeing. He has some story to tell. He was a little ahead, and he was a great writer. And so he wanted that in cinema. And so that exposure was very important for me.
He changed your name also?
My name is Prakash Raj. So he has this habit. He has changed Rajnikant's name. So there was this Karnataka and Tamil Nadu water problem was going on. Then one day he said, Prakash, I want to change your name because as an artist you should be universal. You should not belong to one area. I said, I don't know. Then he called me, he said, I'm going to call you Mani Prakash. I said, I'm not doing that. No Mani Prakash. Then I was very reluctant. Then I said, okay, please, R-A-I, no? I'll just change one letter. I'll make it Raj. I said, okay.
സാറിന് ഇരുവർ സിനിമയിൽ
ഇരുവർ എത്ര വർഷമായി?
97 അല്ലേ?
96 is the national award.
97 അല്ലേ സാറേ?
96 is the national award. To use was released in 97. 96 is what I did Iruvar. It's almost 3 decades. Yeah. You're asking me. So yeah, when I did Iruvar, I was 30 years old. I did not know I could do Iruvar because I had just done Asai for Ratnam production. I had done Duet. Then Iruvar was a very big story of Kalaignar and MGR and Jayalalitha and the Dravidian politics. Story of 2 friends, their journey. When he was casting, I was not the actor. So Mohan Laleta was there and Aishwarya was there. They were doing one schedule already. They had named it Anandan. Then I said, do I have a role? And Mani said, no Prakash, there is no role for you. And then he was trying different actors, and one day suddenly he said, you come in. So we did a photo shoot, Santosh even shot it, and he said, well, younger okay, but older I don't know. He was searching a lot of actors. There was Mamuka, there was Mithun Chakravarti, then Nana Patekar wanted to do, and then something happened, Nana Patekar went back. Sharat Kumar, this thing. Finally they called me. I'm not a good imitator. So I was not on the height of Kalaignar, nor do I come from that culture. I come from Karnataka, the Tamil Nadu culture. I learned Tamil. I was just learning Tamil. So it was a journey through the film. So started acting. Then suddenly I was just a newcomer, a 30-year-old guy, just new to Tamil cinema. And then you see stalwarts like Laletan there, Revati there, Tabu there, Nazar there, Aishwarya, the world beauty queen who's doing her first film.
Did you get nervous that time? Nervous I know.
Nervous. I'm never nervous. My respect is before shot and after shot. In the shot is...
During shot you're
equal. You have to do your role. But it was there, A.R. Rahman music, Santosh even camera, Mani Ratnam directing. It was a very big film. Mani trusted and we started.
സമയം കിട്ടിയായിരുന്നു ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ തയ്യാറെടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി?
That is what, no, two different. Laleta had 6 months before time and he could study MGR, find the gestures, find the nuances, reduce little weight. I had only 2 days time. For me, it was I can't imitate. So what you want to tell in the scene, I can act. It is a film approached by one total homework and one person without homework. But still it worked. Because the story was important.
സാറിന് അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് അറിയാമായിരുന്നല്ലോ, രാഷ്ട്രീയം.
On the way I had to understand. More than Rashtriyam was the film. But as an actor, it was not that. No?
Yeah.
So if you see Kalangar at the age of 30, his marriage, his second marriage, then he grows, then he becomes old, and then he sees his friend dying. That's a process of 8 months. So I had to shave my head, I had to eat and put on weight, and I was not dark, so I used to sit in front of the sun and darken my face. And then I had a driver who knew Tamil. So the Tamil and literature, Unnodu Naniranda Uvuru Mani Tuliyum, understand the poetry in it.
That dialogue we all love.
Very well written.
Can you just say that for us? I mean, it's very nice. We enjoy it.
I remember.
Yeah.
Unnodu Naniranda Uvuru Mani Tuliyum, Marana Padukkelum, Marakadu Kanmani. 90 நிமிடங்கள் தொட்டணைத்த காலம்தான் 800 ஆண்டுகளாய் இதயத்தில் கனக்கிறடி.
Still Guzi is coming.
பார்வையிலே சில. See, it is not just the poem, no? The how Mani explains that there is an affair, there is one evening spent, and the poet writes a poem as that thing happens, you know, and that is how he shot it. So the poetry was born there.
Yeah.
It was not that learned. So I have to also, my character should say it in the space of the poetry being born at that very moment.
അത് ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് എടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് സാറിന് അഭിനയിക്കുന്നത്.
That's when you know in the written word, it is pregnant with an emotion. എപ്പോഴും ഒരു ഡയലോഗ് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഒരു റൈറ്റർ വിടുമ്പോൾ he would have taken 30-40 years of experience to make it അല്ലേ. ഡയലോഗ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഒരു സൗണ്ട് അല്ലേ. What is it pregnant with? What is it delivering? അതാണ് മനസ്സിലാക്കി. The emotion. It is because of that emotion that word has come. So you can't change it.
Again, coming to that scene, ആ സീനിൻ്റെ എടുത്ത രീതിയൊക്കെ സന്തോഷ് ശിവനൊക്കെ പലയിടത്തും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. സാറിൻ്റെ ഒരു അനുഭവം അത് എടുത്തത് എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു?
He wanted to shoot it very differently. He wanted it to happen, and then she gets up, and then he has written the poem, and as she picks up the pages, the poetry comes, and then she comes, and there is rain, and the man who had come, and the footsteps could illa. Because of the location element, then he said he'll go, and it was only around 11 feet or something, and Santosh had to sit there. He had to wind this thing, and without this thing, he has to do it. And that's how he shot. That's the greatness of Santosh Shivan, the lensing.
അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ ആരാ മൂവ് ചെയ്തത്? നിങ്ങളാണ് മൂവ് ചെയ്തത്? ക്യാമറ ഓൺലി മൂവ്?
He was on a small crane, and he was doing. Santosh was so beautiful, you know. Santosh can see this and say, add one light. He doesn't even need color monitor.
So
it's very clear. He's very clear with his lensing. And that film, the director and the cameraman knew what they wanted. It was shot in 35mm, not cinema scope. You know, the black and white. So they had something. For us was just to be in the moment.
ഇപ്പോൾ നടനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം നടൻ പലപ്പോഴും ഹോൾ സ്റ്റോറി അറിയുന്നുണ്ടാവില്ലല്ലോ മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ടൈം. ലൈക്ക് ഈ ഷൂട്ട് സീൻ ബൈ സീൻ.
He should know, sometimes he should not know. എത്ര ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ആക്ടർക്ക് കൊടുക്കണം അത്രയാണ് കൊടുക്കും.
ഇരുവർ പോലെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഡൈസെക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ അനലൈസ് ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ട സിനിമകൾ വളരെ കുറവാണ്. ഇതായത് ഒരു സീനിൽ സാറ് താഴെ നിൽക്കുന്നു, മോഹൻലാൽ സാർ മുകളിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നു.
That is how he is narrating the film. Mani wants to tell the film, you know, from how it is, how he takes up his hand. So he has designed the film. We just have to be in the moment. We are not the maker of the film. He knows after this what, after this shot what. He has built the film like that. So that is the discussion they have. You need not know all that information as an actor.
പിന്നെ ഒരു ആക്ടറുടെ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് തന്നെ, സാർ ആക്ടറാണ്. അപ്പം മറ്റൊരു ടവറിങ് ആക്ടർ മോഹൻലാൽ. സാറ് മോഹൻലാലിൻ്റെ ആക്ടിങ് കാണുമ്പോൾ സാറിൻ്റെ ഒരു അനുഭൂതി എന്തായിരുന്നു?
I loved it because Mohanlal, we have seen, grown up watching him, the ease with which he gets into the role. I don't think he talks about method acting, nothing. He's just there. He's just honest. He just looks into the camera. He looks into the camera. So the greatest example was when I did my first shot with Laleta. It was a long shot of walking. And I took 24 rehearsals for that. And that man walked all 24 rehearsals.
He was patient.
He was patient. He knew there is a young actor, a first-time actor coming. First day, he's just been informed 2 days before of this role. He had spent 6 to 8 months on that film with director, and he knew. But that camaraderie, because Mohanlal is such an actor who's not unsure about himself. He's not worried who acts in front of him, because he's very sure of it. That was a very great learning lessons for me. And when such good actors act in front of you, your acting goes up. He is a great actor. The way he carries himself, the way he sees the nuances, the way he makes his own. Every different actor is different. The way they make it own, their presence is own. But this is a memory which continues.
So, ഇരുവർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സിനിമ സാറിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഒരു പാത്ത് ബ്രേക്കിംഗ് സിനിമയായിരുന്നു അല്ല അതുവരെ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന സാധനങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ട്.
It is because it told people that here is an actor who can do that role, not just a commercial films. And for me, it was a learning lesson. So if a role you do, if it doesn't grow you within, you know, and the experience, I had so much thing to take, and I had a chance to do a film of that element, and the learning process was so beautiful.
ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് ഈ മണിരത്നം സാറിന് ആ സിനിമയിൽ സാറിൻ്റെ അഭിനയത്തെ പറ്റി വലിയ പ്രതീക്ഷകളുണ്ടായിരുന്നു അവാർഡ് വൈസ്. അപ്പോൾ അത് ക്യാരക്ടർ ആക്ടർ അവാർഡ് കിട്ടിയതിൽ ദേശീയ പ്രതിഷേധം ഷുഡ് ഹവ് ഗിവൺ ബെസ്റ്റ് ആക്ടർ അവാർഡ് എന്നുള്ളൊരു പറഞ്ഞ ആൾക്കാർ പറഞ്ഞ് പ്രചരിപ്പിക്കുന്നു.
For me is that year you got the national award. You are not a great actor always. Next year you will have to prove again.
But you got eventually.
I got it, and it gives you a boost. It made me travel. It was my first national award. The very next year I got for Anthapuram. So Mani said, "Good, you're pushing boundaries." Now. After that, then it took 5 years to get me an next award. Then it took 10 years for me to go in Kanjivaram. After that, I have not got. But it is a process. Those are all that small little crowns they give. Immediately you should keep it aside.
Balachandra later on kept on directing, and his last film is produced by you, right? You had any memory regarding?
Yeah, because he was doing television serials, and one day I said, suddenly he called me and will you do television serial? I said, whatever you call, I'll come. So people then also said, you have become famous, now why are you doing teasers? It's Balachandra.
Of course.
Whether he takes a still camera or a video camera is not my point. I get to work with him. I have so much to learn. Then one day I said, why are you not doing film? Nobody is taking films with me. I said, I'll do it.
അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സ്റ്റേജ് വന്നിരുന്നു ബാലേന്ദ്രന്റെ കൂടെ സിനിമ.
He said, I'm not getting interested because he says, I'm liking writing television serials because in film I have to tell in 2.5. Now I have the freedom to write so much. I said, no sir, do one film. Now in this time, who will produce? I don't think so. I said, I'll produce, do it. That was Poi, yeah.
It was a good film, right?
It didn't do well. It's okay. Balachandra gave me a flop, so what?
It's okay.
It's okay.
And coming to the rest of your film, like സാറിനെ ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചുള്ളത് ഈ സാറിൻ്റെ സിനിമകളിൽ ക്യാരക്ടർ ആക്ടേഴ്സ് വളരെ രസകരമായിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകളെ കാണാം. മേ ബി സം ഫിലിംസ് യു പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ്, സം യു ഡിഡ്ന്റ്. അപ്പം ഉദാഹരണം പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ
I produced 26 films.
സോ അതിൽ അഭിയും നാനും സിനിമയുടെ അകത്ത് മൊഴിയുടെ അകത്ത് ഭാസ്കർ, മറ്റൊരു അകത്ത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പേര് കുമരവേൽ. Those were real good.
Because the director was such. I directed 5 films with Radha Mohan. His subjects were interesting.
അദ്ദേഹത്തെ കുറിച്ച് രാധാ മോഹനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അസോസിയേഷൻ
Very beautiful. No, he did one film with me called Smile Please, and it had lot of problem. It did not get released only. It became. Then for 5 years he was not doing on film. Then I called him and I said, "What are you doing?" Because I liked his way of thinking. Then he said, "I have a story, sir. It's a love story between a deaf and dumb girl and a musician." I said, very interesting. Let's do. And Prithvi had liked the script. Then we were not. Then I asked Jyotika to do it. First she didn't want to do it. She said, I'm getting married. I said, listen to the story once. Then she heard. Then nobody was believing in the film. We did that film. That is, Prithvi was such a strong, because he was just upcoming, and he liked that. And that's how it happened. So Radha, after that we did Abhiyum, Naanum, lot of films.
മൊഴിയായാലും അഭിയും നാനും ആയാലും ആര് കഥ കേട്ടാലും ചെയ്തു പോകുന്ന തരത്തിലുള്ള വണ്ടർഫുൾ സ്റ്റോറീസ്. ഹൗ ഡു യു ഗെറ്റ് such good?
But I have my mind. See, I did not produce films on me. Producing is not my profession.
Your choice has been.
It's a passion. That way, friends, we sit and why don't we make this? I can afford to make this. I did something.
Even in one of my episodes, I've taken from that film. Like in that film, saying about Sardarji, you'll never find a begging Sardarjis anywhere on the street. I mean, those kind of observations
that is what film is. That's what writing is. That is what you bring in moments.
And then later on, you produced some films which won national awards, yeah? Like Puttakana Highway.
Yeah.
ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി അതൊരു വളരെ റെലവൻറ്റ്, സോഷ്യലി റെലവൻറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള
ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് സ്റ്റോറി.
അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്
goes on a village and a woman who was just thrown onto streets. It is not the money. The name of development, you are removing their backyard, you are removing their identity, you are removing their land, you are removing their language. And so we wanted to do a film. And it is, some films you don't do it for money, because you need to tell certain stories.
Commercially ഓടിയിരുന്നു?
Not necessarily. Not necessary. Kanjivaram did not run commercially.
That you produced, right?
No, I didn't produce. I acted for 1 rupee.
But it won you the national award. Yeah.
But the point is, certain films, everything is not about money, no? Everything is not about money. There is a responsibility which comes.
So there's a catharsis when you see that people are finding, resonance with the film, and then still it works with their hearts. സാറിന് ഏറ്റവും അവസാനം അഭിനയിച്ച പടങ്ങൾ സാറിന് ഒരു ഇഷ്ടം തോന്നി അങ്ങനത്തെ പടം ഏതാണ് ഏറ്റവും അവസാനം?
Lot of films. Kanjivaram, I liked it. Sometimes by Priyan, I like it. Mori, I love it. Pada, I did a Malayalam
Yeah,
film.
that's a wonderful role, yeah.
So I'm a lot of films and different genres. Gilli, I like it. So I know Singam, I like it.
വെട്രിമാരൻ്റെ ഒരു സിനിമ.
Vetrimaran's, I like it. I like the Pavakadagal which he did.
അതെ സാർ അഭിനയിച്ച പടം.
Beautiful. It's just a 40 minutes and Vetri we had done Asuran. I just done a small role. And
വെട്രിമാരൻ എന്ന സംവിധായകൻ സാർ എങ്ങനെ അതിന്റെ
he's one of the most sensible and the brilliant directors of this generation. The way see Vetrimaran, there are certain directors, as an actor I say whether it's Vetrimaran, people like Ratnam and few people. When they call, I just go. I just go because they're searching something. If it is a hit, you get a jackpot. Otherwise, you get experience. There is so much to learn from Vetrimaran. So much to learn. It's not every time that I am an actor and I am going on stage as an actor. I'm also a student. So when I work with Vetrimaran, I learn. With filmmakers, I learn. With certain youngsters, I learn. So for me, that process is also very important. It is not important it's commercially successful. Sai Pallavi, me and Vetrimaran, after Asuran hit, if we are doing a 40-minute television, that is, Sai Pallavi believes that there is a process, and I believe there is a process, and we just did, and it is such a haunting film.
Yeah, it's a haunting film for us. സാറിന് ഈ പരകായ പ്രവേശം സാധിക്കില്ല എന്നൊരു വിമർശനം പലരും പറഞ്ഞു. അതായത് സാറാണ് ഏതോടെ പോയാലും ഏത് സിനിമയിലും പ്രകാശ് രാജ് തന്നെയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഇതേ കാര്യം ശ്യാം പ്രസാദ് സാറിനോട് ചോദിച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ സാറിന് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ വെരി റബ്ബിഷ് കൺസെപ്റ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, യു നെവർ പരകായ പ്രവേശം ഉണ്ടോ, യു ഓൾവേസ് what you do, it's an osmosis, he said. You can never become someone else. Like, അതെന്താ അതിനെ പറ്റി എന്താ അഭിപ്രായം? ലൈക്ക് ഈ പറഞ്ഞ സാധനം നടക്കും പരകായ പ്രവേശം?
No, you can only do what you can do. Some films necessary you change your face. I said no.
What he says is Prakash Raj is a graceful actor and he is capable of doing wonders in that way. Like whatever.
That is all. What I can do, that's all I can.
And that experience, Electra experience.
Electra was very good. It was a search. It was a possibility. There's poverty in making the film also.
Yeah,
there are certain films, unlike Electra, there are certain films where they couldn't pay the assistants, then I pay. I said, let the film happen. Let the film happen. So these are all processes. It is not to achieve something.
സാറിന് നാടകത്തോടുള്ള കമ്മിറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ് ഞങ്ങൾക്കൊക്കെ അറിയാം. വളരെ ഫേമസ് ആണ് സാർ ആ കാര്യത്തിൽ. അപ്പം ഞാൻ ശൈലജ സംസാരിക്കാനിടയ്ക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു, നാടകം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സംഘടനയുടെ പരിപാടിക്ക് സാറിനെ പോലെ ഒരാൾക്ക് പൈസ തരാനോ വിളിച്ചുകൊണ്ടുവരാനോ ഒന്നും അവർക്ക് പൈസ ഇല്ല. അപ്പോൾ സാറിനെ പറ്റി വളരെ വളരെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ തട്ടിയിട്ടാണ് അവർ പറയുന്നത്. അവർ പറഞ്ഞത്, സാറ് നടുവേദന കൊണ്ട് പൊളഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് സ്വന്തം പൈസ കൊടുത്ത് ടിക്കറ്റ് എടുത്തിട്ട് അവിടുന്ന് ഇവിടെ വന്ന് താമസിച്ചു, സ്വന്തം പൈസയ്ക്ക് ഹോട്ടലിൽ താമസിച്ചു, എന്നിട്ട് സ്വന്തം കാശ് കൊടുത്ത് തിരിച്ചും പോയി, പക്ഷേ പങ്കെടുത്തു പരിപാടിയിൽ. ആ ഒരു കമ്മിറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ് അത് എങ്ങനെയാണ് സാറ്?
ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ വേ ഓഫ് ലൈഫ് അല്ലേ? അതൊരു വേ ഓഫ് ലൈഫാണ്. വാട്ട് ഈസ് യുവർ പ്രയോറിറ്റീസ് ഇൻ ലൈഫ്? What is your priority? If there is a theatre movement which is happening, and if you go there as a star, if that much of expenditure doesn't mean, but for me it is not the star. I want to go. I want to see. Sometimes I may not learn, but me being there gives them a strength. That is how you use your power.
അല്ല, അതാണ് സാറിന് കേരളത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു പോപ്പുലാരിറ്റിയുടെ കൂടെ ഒരു സിൻസ് സാറ് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഹംബിൾ ആൻഡ് ഡൗൺ ടു എർത്ത്.
It is not only because കേരളത്തിൽ I am not popular because I am an actor.
Because of your നിലപാട്,
നിലപാട് for what you stand. Because after 3 decades of seeing you, how much can you surprise with your acting? But have you become a personality? Do they see your integrity? Do you see the person who he is? അങ്ങനെയല്ലേ ആകും.
സാർ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, അപ്പോൾ ഒരു മാധ്യമം എപ്പോഴും ഉപയോഗിക്കപ്പെടുന്നത് സിനിമയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി മാത്രമാവരുത്, കലയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി മാത്രമാവരുത്, നടക്കുന്ന സൊസൈറ്റിയിൽ നടക്കുന്ന മൂവ്മെൻറ്റ്സ്. ഇപ്പം ബ്രത്ത് പണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, വിൽ ദേ ബി സിംഗിങ് ഇൻ ഡാർക്ക് ടൈംസ്, ദേ ബി സിംഗിങ് അബൌട്ട് ദ ഡാർക്ക് ടൈംസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ. അപ്പം ഇപ്പം ഡാർക്ക് ടൈം ആണെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്ന പലരിലും ഒരാളാണ് സാർ, അല്ലേ? സാർ വിചാരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് ഇപ്പം നമ്മുടെ നാട് ഡാർക്ക് ടൈമിലാണ്, അപ്രഖ്യാപിത അടിയന്തരാവസ്ഥയിലാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പലയിടത്തും സാർ പറഞ്ഞു കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് ഇവിടെ നടക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളെ പറ്റി, സാറിന് അതിലുള്ള അഭിപ്രായങ്ങളെ പറ്റിയിട്ട്. അപ്പം സാറിൻ്റെ സിനിമയിൽ പല സിനിമകളും എടുക്കുന്നതും ചിലപ്പോൾ സാർ അതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും. ഇപ്പം പൊട്ടക്കാരൻ ഹൈവേ പോലത്തെ സിനിമകളും, അല്ലേ? സാർ ആക്ടിവിസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. സിനിമയിലൂടെ അത് കാണിക്കുന്നത് ശരിയാണോ? അത് ആ ഒരു
Why not? I'm producing 2 films. Nirdiganda is producing 2 films. One is the story of an alpha of 3 generations of men, which is starting 28th. I am producing it. I am directing one film post-March, April. We will do our politics.
മലയാളത്തിൽ പലരും പറയുന്നത് മുദ്രാവാക്യ സ്വഭാവമുള്ള സാധനങ്ങളായി മാറുന്നു, അതായത് സ്ലോഗനിഷ്. സോ സ്ലോഗനിയറിംഗ് വേണോ സിനിമയുടെ അകത്ത്? അതൊരു ആർട്ട് ഫോം അങ്ങനെ?
It is not sloganeering. If you're using it as a propaganda, then it is sloganeering. Slogans, nobody is interested. They want to see a honest pain. So my anger is not anger. It is my pain. It is my love for the country. It is from a love for the society, and people see that. And the expression may be looking very angry on somebody. I'm not angry on an individual for what they stand. How they're spoiling the society is more important.
So you're 100% political.
You should be political. How can you be not political? Today you are in this country, the evolution has come here because people were political before.
Yeah.
They fought for your freedom. Now how do you say, I don't want to be political today? You are part of the system. You are part of the ecosystem. Enforcement Directorate. So I got a summon.